Hello, this is Michael Sinko, and I am pleased to present my master plan to graduate with a Bachelor in Applied Science degree with a concentration in professional development. So, in a little bit in the way of background, I think it would behoove me to describe how I got through this journey, or at least got through it to date. I graduated from Father Judge High School in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania back in 1972. And I started with the IRS. And I was sitting in my office and I'm thinking, I got to do something that will hopefully enhance my ability to move up the corporate ladder, if you will. So the Community College of Philadelphia was beginning a very proactive outreach program where they were setting up classroom space in public and private buildings in different employer locations, and also even in vacant retail places in strip malls and the like. And that's how I got my start, was going to class after work, sometimes at the location where I worked, or going to different malls where the Community College of Philadelphia had rented space and was delivering classes. So it started out in baby steps. I would take one class a semester, sometimes two, sometimes I skipped semesters because I wasn't quite sure, even recognizing it was potentially helpful, that it was for me. I married young in my 20s. I had my children by 30. And of course, anybody that has a family knows the demands that that brings to your time. So I wasn't quite sure if this was going to be something I could uh, achieve in time, but I did. I gained 63 credits, which was the minimum for an associate in applied science and accounting. And I also became a member of the Phi Theta Kappa National Honor Society for community and junior colleges. So I was very, very proud of that. I also had designs on continuing on for a bachelor's degree, and I started that effort by attending Trenton State College, which has since been renamed the College of New Jersey. I only attained 21 credits there because I took a promotion with the Internal Revenue Service, but it involved a relocation from Philadelphia to Washington, D.C. So any further education kind of got put on the skids because the job that I took in Washington, D.C. required extensive travel. And of course, moving to a new place, an area with a young family, I needed to be home. So education kind of got put on the back burner. So my progress to date leading up to combing the area for a four-year institution to finish my degree left me with a total credit accumulation of 84. But what I'm particularly proud of is my grade point average of 3.8. I've not received during the accumulation of those 84 credits any grade lower than a B. They've been all A's or B's. So I have a place in Orange Beach, Alabama, and I split time between there and Gatlinburg, Tennessee. But for residency purposes, we're considered Tennessee residents. So I wanted to go to a Tennessee school, and I didn't really want to go to the University of Tennessee because of its size, and you're kind of like a fish out of water. And then I was reading up a little bit about East Tennessee State University, and they just coincidentally opened a satellite campus in Sevierville, which just is north of Gatlinburg. So we took some time and we went over there and talked with the director, Brandy Husky, and she gave us a wonderful tour and orientation of not only the Sevierville campus, but the college as a whole. And she got us started based on what our desires and wants were and what we brought to the table and where we wanted to go, with basically a three-prong approach in terms of options for our bachelor degree. First, she put us on with Joanne Smith, who is our academic advisor, and we looked at a Bachelor of General Studies. That would have needed 53 more credits to earn before attaining a bachelor's degree. The second option was a Bachelor's of Science in Interdisciplinary Studies, a little bit less, not much, but still a big chunk at 51 remaining credits. So with the 53 and 51, that would push us over, about 140, 145 credits to earn a degree which normally should be around 120. Fortunately, there was a third option, and that was the Bachelor of Applied Science. And all I needed there was 36 remaining credits. I had 84, so that puts me exactly at 120, which is the minimum required to graduate from ETSU. So looking at the three, it wasn't hard to figure out. Bachelor of Applied Science. I just wanted to take the path of least resistance. So how am I going to get to the finish line? How am I going to earn this bachelor's degree? I hadn't been to school since 1986 when I moved down from Philadelphia to Washington, D.C. During the 70s and 80s, when I did attend college, there were no options for online classes. In fact, when I first started, there wasn't computers per se or word processing packages. I took my 2-credit typing course on an IBM Selectric typewriter. So I've got this new wonderful option of online courses. So I got in my head, well, how can I do this? I'd like to take some classes in the brick and mortar fashion because I like that environment. But I got to be realistic. Johnson City's a good distance away, well, 2 hours from Gatlinburg, but enough that I can't do that commute. So I got to put a plan together to get from 84 plus 36 to 120 before I get that elusive diploma. So how am I going to do it? Well, we began in the summer, this past summer, and at Joanne Smith's advice, she said, well, every graduate or everyone who intends to graduate from ETSU must take the Using Information Technology course. So why don't you get that under your belt? I thought that was wonderful advice. Software packages were still fairly fresh in my mind, having worked for the federal government and used Excel, Word, and PowerPoint. And I thought that not only would it be a helpful refresher, but it also would have applicability to other courses I would need to take and have research paper done and PowerPoint presentations, et cetera, et cetera. So I took it and I wanted something a little lighter, and I really enjoyed history. So I started out with the United States 1877. So that gives me 6 credits in addition. So now I'm down to 30 credits to go. Currently, I'm taking, obviously, the multimedia presentation, which will be followed by the e-portfolio, which will be followed by the special topics course. And I opted to take the 1 credit and, as opposed to the 3 credit package. I'm also taking simultaneously the American Roots music, which I find very, very interesting. I've always been a rock and roll fan, and this has really opened me up to a completely new set of genres and folk and cultural differences and nuances in the different strains of music. So it's really been a pleasure taking this course this semester as well. When I'm through in the fall, I'll be down to 24 credits. Then we're going to talk about the winter, which will be a compressed class. That's why I just have 1 class listed up there. We took a compressed class in the summer, and although it's a quick way to earn your 3, or in this case 4 credits, it's a lot of work. So that's why we're going to take just 1. And at that point, at its completion, we'll be down to 20 credits. Next spring, I'll just take the Anatomy and Physiology 2 as a follow-on to the previous course, to stay consistent. And then also take on the special topics and interdisciplinary studies, which I'm not quite sure what that's about, if it's a rotating set of contemporaneous topics or they're baked in the curriculum, but I'll find out soon enough. I'll be down to 14 after the spring of 2020. The summer, American literature is an elective I need to take. Again, uh, allowing a little bit free time during the summer to enjoy the Gulf and the Smoky Mountains. That's why there's just one course listed there. But that could possibly change if I get a little antsy and want to, attain my bachelor degree a little sooner. But if I keep it this conservative approach with 3 credits after the summer of 2020, now I'm down to 11. Then in the fall, the 2 obligatory courses, the research invention and the senior capstone, leaves me with just 6 credits to go, which hopefully in the winter of 2020, I have 2 general elective credits, which I will have to discuss with Joanne Smith as to what they need or ought to be. But if all goes right, that elusive cap and gown will come after the 2020 session. Mission accomplished. And I will have to tell you, there isn't anyone that has probably put their shoulder to the wheel, their nose to the grindstone, and all those euphemisms than I did. And it really came to fruition because it only took me 47 years to get from alpha to omega. Now, that's not 47 years of studying. That's when I began, with a lot of detours, a lot of missing gaps, about, let's say 19 years before I resumed here at ETSU. So that 47 years is a compilation from start to what I hopefully finish in 2020. And I sit back, and when I put that statistic up there on the chart, I thought to myself, there's probably not that many students in my class that are 47 years old. So if you want to take a look at that particular stream of time and the work put in, talking about taking the road less traveled, I think I'm the billboard child for that. After I completed this presentation, I asked myself, there's all kinds of statistics out there on what a college degree can command in salary on average and how much more that is over, let's say, an associate's degree or a high school degree. But I just wanted a simple question answered, and that was, what's the percentage of folks in the US population with a bachelor's degree? And then on a micro level, well, what's the percentage just Tennessee residents? And with a little research, it's 31% and 26% respectively. And I know the Tennessee percentage is a little bit lower than the national average, but my hope with the UT Promise program and others like it, that hopefully that will pay dividends and that 26% will rise in the next 5 to 10 years. Thank you for listening.